to Simmer's Gab. I'm a Rose and Bloom.
And I'm Just 2G.
And we have a special guest with us today.
Yay, special guest. Introduce yourself, special guest.
I'm Amanda. You probably know me a little bit better as Citizen Erase 14.
Yay!
I'm really excited to be here.
We're excited to have you here.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So I think because you probably have a lot to say about this, I just want to dive right into like the meaty questions. Is that okay?
We should probably tell people what we're talking about.
Oh, yeah.
I am.
Oh. What did I say? I should probably sit this one out.
You know, just sit there and look cute.
Okay, what are we talking about?
I'm kidding. So, okay, we are talking about writing stories with a strong narrative. And so when we came up with that topic, we were like, oh, we got to have Citizen. You got to, I'm sorry, Amanda. You like to be called Amanda, right?
I mean, because Citizen just sounds funny. It's like,
well, it does.
Citizen, you know,
whatever. Used to call you Citizen.
You can call me Citizen. I really don't care. There's way worse things you could call me, so it's all good.
This is true. So, yeah, we definitely wanted to talk to you about it because, I am reading Dust to Dust. Someone here is...
Look,
did you start it yet? Or did you...
I think I've read like the introduction or whatever. And
okay.
I was like, this is awesome. And also I'm 30 chapters behind on the Pruitts, 30 chapters behind with Kathy's. I was like, I will get there. I promise.
No, I'm just checking.
Okay. I'll be here. I've gotten enough from the forums to have an idea of what's happening.
Right. And you've read some of her writing, so you know how good she is.
Just make me blush over here.
That's what we do here, you know.
Yeah, we like to flatter our could you imagine if we brought a special guest on and we were like, your writing's pretty crappy, so we would like to talk about how you...
Like, there was this one chapter, I didn't think you did that well. I think you should have...
Oh, God.
Lucas should have gotten with, I'm kidding.
Oh, God, no, don't.
That's opening a can of worms. I don't even know the story, and I know that's a can of worms.
It is. But so your stories to me read very much like a novel, and it seems like you've done it before. Like, do you have any writing experience at all?
Like legit writing experience?
No, just to me.
No, but I mean, like, I started writing stories when I was like 7. Like the first story I can remember, I was 7. It was about like a panda and a wizard. I'm not even kidding. I love it already.
Pandas and wizards definitely belong in the same story, so that works
clearly, it makes sense. But I mean, like, I wrote like short stories here and there. I was into fan fiction for a long time.
Cool.
Yeah. I've had a couple of fanfics that I kind of want to go back to someday. I don't know. But I'd never written anything, full length novel style. But I've always wanted to.
Yeah.
And then when I started getting really into Dust to Dust, like, it started out and I was just like, this is for fun. And then I was like, oh, I'm really feeling this. Oh my goodness, I'm really into this. And I was like, okay, well, this will be my novel and I'll just kind of go with that. But, it was my first like really big, serious project and the first big thing that I've ever finished.
Wow.
So that was kind of cool.
That's got to be amazing.
Yeah, it was exciting.
Really amazing. So another thing I noticed in your writing is that it's very heavy on the narrative. I mean, true, of course, your characters talk to each other, but like I find myself being very, very immersed in their world from the narrative and not so much in the dialogue. Is that something you do on purpose? Is that like a tactic you do?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. There's kind of 2 parts to it. One's like the dumb answer and one's like the real answer, I guess. Okay. So
alrighty.
The dumb excuse is I don't like writing dialogue. So I try to like avoid it whenever I can.
Okay.
Or keep conversations short when I can. But I mean, also for me, I feel like like the most important part of a story is the characters and getting to know them. Because I've always been a believer that if the readers don't care about the characters, they're not going to care what happens to them. They're not going to care about the story.
That's very true.
So I'm very character focused in my writing. And as a consequence of that, I spend a lot of time describing what are they thinking? What are they feeling? And there's a lot of narrative of, oh, she felt so blah, 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 blah. And I'll just, go on like 3 paragraphs of like what they were feeling, and then they talk.
No, I love that. I love that because like I remember mentioning this before with someone else, but like I love it when I get emotionally involved in stories. And with reading yours, and my comments I made, it's like, I am so fed up with Evelyn. Oh my goodness. I mean, like,
everyone either loves her or thinks she's so annoying. There's like not much middle.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, like even though she really, really made me mad, like I love being able to emote that way while I'm reading something. So, like your stuff is just awesome to me.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think it's true. And even like the short stories that you write for Karen's competitions, like I mean, you are limited on your words, and but the words that you pick are always like you need them all. Like they're all important, and you couldn't delete a sentence, and if you did, you would lose something really important. So I feel like that's really, it builds a good story.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Welcome.
So speaking of stories, we didn't really talk about you yet because I kind of just jumped right in.
Just wanted to talk about your writing.
Like, I want to get to the meaty stuff. Why don't you tell everyone like what stories you write, or just give everybody a snapshot of who you are as a simmer, in case people don't really know you.
Which is ridiculous.
I post like every freaking day, all day. Anyway, so I guess I'm like best known for Dust to Dust, which is now finished, which is my like epically super way longer than I ever intended story, which is very dramatic about a boy who falls in love with the ghost that haunts his house. And then I can't say really much more because it's going to be spoilers. And then I also, I write, although I've been neglecting it lately, Paranormal Neighborhood, which is my Jess loves
comedy, man.
Yes. It's so outside my comfort zone. I'm so not used to writing comedy, but I
you're
love
so
that story.
good at it.
It's really hard for me to write though. I think that's why I'm kind of slow with that one, because like I really I heavily edit those chapters and I reread them so many times. I'm like, is this even funny? Like, this Paranormal Neighborhood, which is about a really clueless ditzy girl living in a neighborhood surrounded by paranormal creatures, and she thinks that they are all normal. And then I have my legacy, which is Ashes to Ashes, which the more I think about it, the more I'm like, that makes no sense because it takes place after Dust to Dust.
Yeah.
But I think Muncher Bacon came up with that name, and I went with it because I couldn't decide what to name my legacy, and I was asking about it in the lounge, and then Muncher was like, I don't know, can we call it Ashes to Ashes? And I was like, I'm like 99% sure it was him.
Wow. I missed that one.
And yeah, that's my legacy challenge, which is like mostly Pinstar compliant. I turn aging off a few times.
Mostly.
Mostly.
I don't know about mostly.
Yeah, Jess's isn't. That's
Mine is mostly. Yours is less than mostly.
Well, the story took over, and yeah, it always happens. It always happens.
Brilliant, though. Compliant or not compliant.
Thank you. And yeah, that's me.
And your founder for your legacy came from?
Yes, from Dust to Dust. So it's like a vague continuation, but you don't have to read Dust to Dust to read Ashes to Ashes. Although there's like Dust to Dust spoilers in Ashes to Ashes, kind of unintentionally. So if you're going to read them both, read Dust to Dust first is my recommendation. But yes, there's a vague connection there because the founder is the descendant of one of my Dust to Dust characters.
Yes. Gorgeous descendant.
Yes. Oh my God. I don't know how that happened. He looks like a male model or something. I'm like, oh, hello. Oh my God. Every time, like, Lucas has competition. Everyone knows I'm in love with Lucas, but like, I look at Alex and I'm like, ooh.
Yeah.
I would settle for Alex. I mean, I'd settle for him if I had to. if nothing else came available.
Like Team Beard though, like I feel like, I don't know, that's kind of that beard, man.
Yeah.
That puts Lucas a little bit up there, maybe. I don't know.
It was awesome.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Just,
Now I'm like all blushing talking about Lucas. Just change the subject.
I love when I was watching one of Rory's Let's Plays and Lucas showed up and she started like squealing, and I think that might have been the first time I'd seen him before. And I was like, he is really cute. And then I'm like, he's a sim. I was like, I could put him in my game. We could have really cute babies. And I was like, focus.
He is on the gallery. I'm like, you can download him.
I can't download him. What's gonna happen? I play with genetics, and then all of a sudden there'd be like this.
Wow. Wow. Sounds like you're having a crisis still.
I was at the time. I feel better now. Sort of. Now, I felt better up until this moment.
Wow.
I knew talking to Citizen was gonna bring things up.
Oh my goodness.
Sorry, aren't we talking about writing a strong narrative, not the hottest characters we've ever created?
Sorry. My bad.
It's fine.
So I guess we'll put this back on track, I suppose, if we have to. But so clearly Dust to Dust was a highly complicated story, I guess. I mean, I assume. How do you even go about planning a story of that magnitude?
Well, when I first started, nobody ever believes me when I say this. My original outline for Dust to Dust, it was going to be 30 chapters.
Okay.
And it ended up being 100. So
Basic math there.
But my planning process, like I call it a skeleton outline, where I do like bullet points of just the major plot points. So like, I can't do the whole outline because of spoilers, but it was like, boy meets ghost. Boy falls in love with ghost. Boy gets older. Boy wants to bring ghost back to life. Like it was just very basics. And then what I did actually was I played through the story without writing anything first.
Wow.
I just kind of like, I guess for lack of a better word, role played it out kind of, I was like, okay. And some aspects that came into the final story came through while I was doing that. The biggest one, most significant, mild spoilers, sorry people, is like the Grim Reaper even being a character. Lucas accidentally met the Grim Reaper because a random townie died while he was walking through the park.
Oh, wow.
And then like he was like autonomously talking to him. And I was like, oh my God, I was going to have Lucas just research how to bring ghosts back to life. And I went, what if the Grim Reaper comes and tells him? And then this whole thing, like, that becomes a big aspect.
That is so cool.
So stuff like that just kind of happened as I went. But I did have the basic story planned out, but it just kept growing as I went. I would think of more ideas and I'd think, how can I work this in? And I would kind of slowly, I took that little skeleton and built it.
So when you played all the way through, did you take screenshots at that point in time, and then did you have to go back and take screenshots when you got new ideas, or?
Yes, that's actually a really good question. Cause, so the first maybe 20-ish chapters of Dust to Dust are with the original screenshots from my first playthrough. But then when other stuff started coming into it that I hadn't planned for, I just was like, okay, I'm going to have to scrap 90% of these screenshots, whatever. But I kept them. There were random times where I could throw them in. But like, for example, Lucas's daughter, obviously, like genetics, she looked so different. Oh, she had Lucas's pretty green eyes in the original. And I was like, Christy, no. And the real deal. And she got the brown eyes. I was like, okay, I'll deal with it. But yeah, it was a mixture of, up until probably around the 20s. And then I just kind of had to throw most of those old screenshots away because it just didn't fit anymore because I had added so much.
That's really, I never would have thought to do that. Would you highly recommend that process for anyone who wants to do like a long story? If
you're like a perfectionist, crazy person who wants to waste hours playing.
I know one of those. Wait, hang on a second. Let me think about it. Hey, keep going.
Hey, look, there's somebody.
I feel like I see one.
You see nothing.
it helped for me. It really did help a lot because it inspired me, and it helped me see like, okay, I can do this with the game. Oh, I can do that. Like, for example, another thing was like Lucas going to Granite Falls and meeting the hermit was not in my original plan. And then I was like, oh, I can throw that. Like, I just kind of was playing around with the game and seeing how can I, because it's novelesque, but it's obviously still a Sim story. So I was like, what can I pull in from the game? So it helped a lot for me to play it out first.
That's really cool.
I might try that for one of mine.
I mean, like I had cheats, so like their needs didn't go. It was like a quick playthrough. Like it was over. I didn't play it for real. It was just to feel out the story, but it helped a lot.
Do you think it helped you get in touch with your characters better too?
Definitely. Definitely. I don't know. It's interesting because, this is my first experience with SimLit, with writing a Sim story, but there's something about having the little person on your screen that makes them feel even more real than if they were just in your head. It's like, there's actually a little person there. And, that was my first experience with that. And I was like, this is really cool. So it helped. And especially, playing through the story and knowing, what was going to happen to them before I even started writing it. It kind of helped get in the zone, I guess, and feel them out.
That's awesome.
I like it. I'm definitely doing it.
Yeah, me
I'm
too.
so doing that. Well, I mean, like one of my stories I have on hold, like I have the next series of chapters planned out, but then all the rest of them, I feel like I can't really plan them unless I play, right? And so I was like, well, I don't want to play and then have to start over or whatever. But now that you've said this, I think I might actually do that.
Yeah, I mean, and then we have the ability to put them in whatever clothes we need them to be in if we need extra screenshots or whatever.
Yeah.
Not a bad idea.
I love it.
Copyright Citizen Erase 14. That's
that's totally fine.
We'll follow the citizen method.
But if it fails horribly, don't blame me, though. No liability here.
I know where your origin is. I'm coming right there. It's like, this didn't work for me.
Citizen! It's not
my
working!
time back.
I played a whole game and I don't feel any more inspired than I did. But I made a hot sim, so it's okay.
That's all that matters.
It's all that matters in the end. Is your sim hot? There you go.
So where do the like what inspires you to write, or where do your ideas for your stories come from?
Well, okay, I have to think about how to answer that one because I have like different. I guess the more general answer to that would be, I'm always thinking like when I'm driving, when I'm in the shower, like things just like when I'm all alone and I'm bored.
Oh, that reminds me. I need to order more of those Aqua Notes. Keep going.
I was telling her about
Yes!
You are welcome, people.
I'm like Aqua Notes. Yes.
You are freaking welcome.
So yeah, I'm like so excited because I used to just run out of the shower and like run to a notebook or run to my computer and be like, oh my God, this idea for this conversation. No.
You won't have to anymore.
It's all good. I guess
people will be like, are you going to come out of the shower ever? No.
I'm
writing a whole novel right now. Please leave me alone.
I'm on a roll here. Yeah, right.
Sorry.
I actually probably would. Like,
we'll be like, Citizen hasn't been on the forums in like 2 days. You think she's drowning, or do you think that anybody should let her out of the shower? Somebody should go get her.
Yeah. You have to drag me out.
It's a thoughtful shower. Very.
I think the hot water would run out and then it would just get uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's true.
Have to get out eventually.
And you'd get that another moodlet. It'd be awful. Okay, sorry.
Okay, wait. I'm trying to think about the question. Oh, we're
ideas. Inspiration.
Oh yeah, where the ideas came from. Thank you. I'm like, what were we talking about?
Derailed.
Well, like, if you want to get slightly more specific, I won't make it a long story, but you guys actually coincidentally kind of brought it up in a past Simmers Gab episode, my idea for Dust to Dust, which is the imaginary friend from Sims 3. That was my favorite, like, story to role play kind of, because I never wrote SimLit, but I would like, I just call it role playing. I don't know. I'd role play a story. But I wouldn't write anything down. Yeah. Take a few screenshots for fun. And when I decided I want to do a Sims 4 story, that was my favorite storyline to do. As a kid falls in love with their imaginary friend and wants to bring him back to life. And I said, oh, but I can't do that in The Sims 4. There's no imaginary friends. And I went, but there's ghosts and there's ambrosia, so I can make this work. So that was how that that one came from. And then for Paranormal Neighborhood, that one came from one of my short stories for Karen's short story challenges, which I'm in love with.
Yes.
My first story was the one about the girl, her first night, because the theme was their first. Mm-hmm. That was based on my own fear of being alone in the dark at night. So then I wrote the story about the girl, you know, thinking all these paranormal things were happening, and then there was a rational explanation for it all. But then the third level to it was, you know, just out of sight over her shoulder, there was actually paranormal things happening. And then after I wrote that story, I really liked it. And I said, well, what if I just make a whole story about these adventures of this girl who's absolutely clueless? So, you know, so I guess the ideas just come from, like, that was kind of from my own experience. The other one was from the game itself. I mean, you know, if you're writing a sim story, where better to get your inspiration than the game and things you can do in the game. And then Ashes to Ashes, just, you know, legacy came. But that one kind of came from the game too. Like the whole thing with, mild spoilers, Jade, who's one of the pre-maids, ending up
pre-maids.
But you know,
I hate pre-maids.
But Jade, I love her. She was so. I was just having Alex talk to every girl in town, and he kept getting whims to go with her. And then when I realized she was the leader of Party House, I went, okay, we can make some drama here with it. And then it's even carried over into Generation 2. Yes. Not so much more than that, but it kind of was. And again, it's from the game. So
going back.
Sorry.
Okay.
Paranormal Neighborhood.
Yes.
Like, I know you're a perfectionist. I understand that because, you know, we're here on that.
Yes.
But dude, your attention to detail is like mind blowing to me. I mean, all that stuff that you have going on in the windows. I'm like, how does she even set that stuff up?
Yeah, that's my question. How do you make it look so awesome?
Is everyone in the same household? I mean, it's brilliant.
So it's okay. I will say it takes me like way longer than I would even want to admit to do some of those screenshots. Sure. I'm like, I waste too much time on these. But I don't. People have asked me before if I use Photoshop to edit it together. I don't. The only thing I did that on was my story banner where she's standing there, and because that's just that I had to use Photoshop. I was like, no, I have to edit that together. But I put everyone in the same household that I need.
Yeah.
I put the camera where I kind of want it to be, and then I use like what is that mod I have called? Oh, the UI cheats extension mod, I think it's called, something like that, or advanced debug cheats. I don't know. It lets you teleport the Sims anywhere. Yeah. So I teleport them to different spots. I have autonomy off, and I like line them up so they're like just in the window, you know, just right. And then I'm like, okay. But then I do a lot of like, they need to have a certain facial expression or doing certain animations. So like, I'll be sitting there waiting for, you know, like,
yeah.
Like if the Sim's idling, I'm like, okay. Oh, they made a good face. And I take like 10 and then I go through and I'm like, okay. So,
wow.
Yeah, it takes a long time, but I have a lot of fun with it, doing the visual gags in that one. Although I feel like I'm running out of material. Like I've done pretty much anything you can imagine happening out the window has been happening.
I'm telling you, like, even till now, at random times, I will think about Grimm in the window when he's talking to some girl. Oh, that picture will just pop up in my head, and I will have a really, really good private laugh, private party. And I'm like, don't mind me. It's fine.
I am so glad to provide you with that entertainment. Oh, I love Mr. Graham. I hope he finds love.
I do too.
You know,
I was telling my sister about that story too.
Oh my God, that's funny. Poor Grimm.
Yeah.
He gets a bad rap.
He does.
He's not a bad guy.
I don't really.
He's just doing his job.
Exactly. He likes his job, but he's just doing, you know.
My Grimm is depressed. He's been eating a lot, so.
You have that fat Grimm.
I don't understand it.
You and Sunny Shay have
How is that possible?
That's what I'm saying. Like, Grimm is supposed to be bones, and like my Grimm shows up, and I'm like, come on.
I've had a chubby Grimm before too, and I'm like, ooh.
Right? It's like it doesn't. Fit,
I'm like,
it doesn't fit the scenario. Like I don't care, but like,
it does not work.
You know, 8 generations of killing people. It just makes it kind of sad. I don't know. Do they
Maybe
die?
yes.
Does anybody know if Grim dies? Like, you always get the same Grim in the game?
I think you get different ones.
Maybe, I don't know. I mean, they all look the same,
Right?
except the
Right.
fat ones.
Right.
But they look like the other. Anyways, I was just curious. Somebody posted that on the forums this morning, and that made me happy to sign on.
Oh,
like somebody posted a picture.
Julie, I
was
think, right? With the picture, it said like, what did it say? Oh, my Grim needs a diet, or I don't know, something really weird.
Yeah. That was a tweet from Krennic.
Right, and somebody had posted on the forums. It might have been Julie, and I was like, "Oh, my Grim does too," or maybe he doesn't. Maybe he just has to go to the gym a little sometimes. I see him there. He doesn't use the equipment, but I see him hanging out.
I think so.
I had a very random thought the other day. So I was looking at a picture of Grim, probably that one, and I noticed that book he wears on his chain. Like he has a chain around his waist and there's a book on it.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, if he has an iPad,
He totally
what
has
does he need
an
a book
iPad.
for?
Yeah, right. It doesn't make any sense.
Maybe just in case somebody wants to be read their final. But he also has like the little freezer bunny skull thing.
He's a random freezer bunny. He's got the book. Yeah.
Yeah, I figured that was like, some flair he wears or something.
Flair. Grim needs flair.
But the book makes no sense to me.
Well, maybe
He carries around the iPad. Unless
we
it's
don't
like
know
the
the
fact
book.
It's some reading material. I don't know.
reading material.
The Grim used to
bored.
come to my house and read. He just would sit there and like read in the Skinner house.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you doing? There are people dying around you. Stop reading. Collect the bodies. Let's go.
Right? Oh my goodness.
Oh, Grim. Grim provides hours of entertainment. He was the first person who ever picked up Simon.
Yes, he was.
He picked up a baby.
Simon, yeah.
After he was born.
That was the
What a way
first
to
one
start
to
your
cuddle the baby. I was like, oh.
This is an omen.
He wasn't even the bad one. Damien ended up being the bad kid.
That would have been hilarious if it was Damien that he picked up, because he's evil.
No one had picked up Damien.
See, that's what his problem is. I'm telling you, guys didn't love Damien enough.
Let me just say something really quick about Damien. When he aged up to a teenager, I was like, I don't think I've created an uglier Sim. Like, I don't think that any of the Skinners have made an uglier baby besides that one.
Oh, don't say. Well, I don't know what he looks like.
Oh, don't say that. I'm talking about an inanimate thing that's not, their feelings are not going to be hurt.
I still like Damien.
I know. He's gonna be on his merry way soon.
I know, you're kicking him off the island.
Anyways, just saying. Kids will be kids.
Whatever.
But I was really disappointed that he wasn't cute because we were talking about cute Sims. I need a cute one.
He's not the heir, so who cares?
I know, but
Exactly. The heir is the one who counts.
Yes.
I know, but I don't think Avalon is anything to write home about.
Well, no, but she's not bad looking.
She's not Lucas.
Well,
Wow.
nobody's Lucas.
No, the key is you have to find a cute spouse and then just kind of make it.
I had to find a spouse. At this point, I could not be picky.
Yeah.
I was like, anybody want to marry this chick? Anyone interested?
She was a tough cookie.
Even still, she's like, I'd rather make a drink and get drunk than hang out with you. Okay. Alrighty.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you play, okay, that's another question I would like to ask. So when you play your Legacy,
Yes.
is that one more whatever they do based, or do you still write a story for it? Obviously I don't read her Legacy.
Don't ask her that
Christ.
question.
There's not vodka in here.
Just like Jess said, baby steps, right? We said that.
Yes.
It's baby steps.
Yes. I am very proud of you. I am.
Are
Answer.
you? Oh, you're like controlling the story. Let's hear it.
Well, yeah. Well, yeah. Generation 2 is like 90% me. But Generation 1, okay, when I started this, I had the best of intentions. It was all...
You know what they say about the road to hell, love.
I started out and I was like, oh, I'm going to keep this thing casual, whatever. It's all going good. And then I was like halfway through Generation 1 and I was like, oh, let's just start introducing a little more plot here and here. And then Yeah, now it's a mixture. I still do let some things kind of go and work for the story. I don't micromanage my screenshots as much.
Okay.
I change their emotions sometimes though to get the right facial expression, but I don't okay, you stand here and and baby steps, right?
Okay.
But I do have a plot planned for Generation 2, which I'm in right now. I actually have a plot planned through Generation 4.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I'm such a someday I will have a normal,
You will.
not player influence story, but for now,
Make sure of it.
but it's if you compare it to Dust to Dust or to Paranormal Neighborhood, it is super casual by comparison.
Yeah.
But I control the plot very heavily. But I play it too. With my other stories, I didn't really play them that much in between. I just set up the screenshots. I play them, things happen that, for example, people who read my legacy know that Mari and her sister Carolina do not get along at all, but in the game they're BFFs, so it's full, green friendship bars. So I play them, and then I'm I need some screenshots, and then I make them all sad and take pictures, and then I put it back to normal.
Yeah.
So there's what's happening and then what you're telling us.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
But even with what I'm telling you, I do let a little bit kind of go. I just, make sure that they're in the right mood, and then I get enough pictures and I'm okay, I can work with that and say that they were talking about X or whatever. So that's why I have a lot less screenshots too in my chapters in my legacy. I only usually have a handful of screenshots because, I'm not micromanaging as much, so I don't have as much to work with.
Yeah, that's the hardest. I mostly let them do what they want to do, and I have so many screenshots because I'm I have no idea what I'm gonna end up using, and then I don't use half of them, but how you were talking about when you see your ghosts in Paranormal Neighborhood make a face and you just take all these pictures at one time. I'll do that too. I'll be this is the scene I really want to capture, and I'll just hit the C button 100 times. I'm her eyes are open for 2 of them. Golden. We're using them. Usually she's like this. I'm can't do anything with that.
I hate that when everything else looks perfect and then their eyes are closed and you're
or when you get one when they're sitting next to each other or whatever it is, even across from each other, and you can tell that the other person's eyes are closed, the person you've got from back, you can tell that their eyes are closed or they're making this stupid face, and you're I can't use that. You really can't see it, but I can't use it because I know that her eyes are closed.
Even though I'm sure none of the readers would notice.
They
but
wouldn't even care. They wouldn't be I'm not reading this story anymore because
Right.
you said she was paying attention and clearly she wasn't.
I quit.
Your story's awful. You're a liar. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
Exactly. Yeah. Anything else you want to share with us about
Yes.
your stories, your writing, your characters, your...
Any future plans you want to share?
I'm not adding any new stories because I know that I can't handle it. No, I just, my goal right now is to finish my legacy because the more I think about it, I'm oh God, I'm going to be writing this thing for probably 2 years or something. But
Yes, that's an investment.
Yes. 2 years.
Yeah. I have the whole first season of Paranormal Neighborhood planned out. I just have to get there. And I have 3 seasons of Paranormal Neighborhood planned.
Ooh.
So if I can start getting on a better update schedule, it'll be a little more realistic because I'm super behind there. But yeah, finish my legacy and at least get through the end of season 1 before the summer of Paranormal Neighborhood is my current plan. So we'll see what happens from there.
It's awesome.
Sauce. Yay.
I'm going to be reaching out to you as I work on Meets the Eye because I've had such problems with those characters, but I love them all so much. I'm going to make them real.
That's the first step, is loving the characters. First
I
step.
love them. Iris is my favorite. I feel like her and I are similar. And if anyone knows anything about Iris, that tells you what I think about myself. Anyways. Yeah, well, I feel like I learned a lot.
Definitely. This was very educational.
I'm like, I need to go write something right freaking now.
Right? I need to
I
redo
just feel
some
like
outlines.
I just rambled randomly. I don't even know.
No, it was
No.
But I
cool
appreciate
stuff.
that you feel like you learned something.
I do. I'm like, I need to go, guys. I have to go write something before I forget everything she just said. It'll be online soon, so I'll check it then. Yeah, Jess?
I am awesome.
Yes, you are. She's awesome. Would you agree?
Duh.
Citizen, thank you for being with us. This was so much
Thank you for having
fun.
me.
Of course.
It
Fantastic.
was a lot of fun.
Good.
Yeah.
Glad you enjoyed spending time with us.
Yeah. Jess and I get to do this every week.
I know this is fun.
Yeah. It's a good time. So yeah, stay tuned next Tuesday. Same time, same place. For our maybe season finale. I'm not sure where we're at, but we're getting close.
Yeah.
We're getting close for our season finale. Make sure if you guys missed the live stream, I know Jess and I have both been receiving plenty of ideas on the forums pages and in messages, but if you guys have any ideas for things that you want to see, hear about for season 2, please make sure you send them to us in whichever form, something permanent. Please don't send us like some random message somewhere that we'll never find it again. Like it's not going to work, but yeah, so that we have some ideas for next season.
Yay. I'm excited that you guys are doing another season. I love this. So send them ideas. I tried, but I didn't have any good ones.
Think about
good.
it. I was going to say, and think about it. We have a little bit of a pause between now and then. So, All right. Okay.
Good
Thank
night,
you, everyone.
everybody.
Good night.